Like right now, it looks like areas further north and east are the main spots that could still possibly see a little bit more of, I would say, unhealthy air quality. But Jefferson and Shelby County, major improvements, and there may be some moderate issues as far as the air quality for Tuscaloosa down towards Greene, parts of Perry, and West Bibb County. But meteorologist Matt Dana is going to join us now with the weather extra on why the air quality warranted that code red last night for Shelby and Jefferson County and the cause of the hazard.
Did you notice yesterday evening maybe a little bit of a haze in the sky and around Birmingham, maybe down towards Shelby County? You may have been smelling some smoke. Well, that was actually a controlled burn happening in Winston County. And this is what was responsible for that air quality alert that was issued for for Jefferson and Shelby County. So normally in the summertime, it's not uncommon to see a code orange, which is slightly unhealthy, especially for those in sensitive groups, like if you have asthma. Well, this was a code red, so it's a little bit higher than that. So we're talking about unhealthy for everybody. And so just for everyone's safety, that's why we issued that first alert weather day for Jefferson and Shelby counties. But believe it or not, we can actually detect smoke on radar and through satellite imagery. So here's one of the loops from yesterday showing that plume of smoke coming in from that controlled burn in northern portions of Winston County. So pretty impressive to see on radar, but even more impressive to see on satellite. And the one reason why that smoke was impacting Jefferson and Shelby counties is due to the wind direction. We had a cold front move through the other day and it brought in northwest winds. So you can see those arrows. You got the fire burning, the smoke going up, and when the wind's carrying that smoke, it's traveling it to the south and east. So if you were in Double Springs along 278, you probably noticed the smoke as well. And then as you go even farther south and east and towards maybe even east of Jasper and Walker County, I was seeing some of the smoke plume make its way into the area. And then as we went into the evening hours yesterday, that smoke was making it all the way down towards Adamsville, towards Fultondale and Birmingham and in Vestavia Hills. So pretty impressive to see on satellite. Thankfully, today those winds changed direction from the northwest to the southwest, and it's moved that smoke out. So the air quality today actually not as bad, and that is good to us. And of course, we'll get to enjoy one more day of nice weather, but then as we get into the end of the week, that's when the weather gets really active. But just want to give you a little explanation behind that code red alert that happened across Jefferson and Shelby counties earlier today.
Well, thanks, Matt. And one of the things that Matt was mentioning there is just how important the winds, the role that winds play when we're dealing with these wildfires and the smoke and in what direction and what areas it's going to impact. And that, like I said, is based on the wind. So he was mentioning how winds are now out of the southwest. They're going to remain out of the southwest throughout the day tomorrow, about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Not super breezy. We call 5 to 10 mile per hour winds fairly light. So just giving you that first alert as we approach the day tomorrow. But all of this comes as a new study shows that most of the world sees below average conditions when it comes to air quality. According to IQ Air, only 17% of cities around the world meet air pollution guidelines. Experts say the actual amount of air pollution may be greater than reported due to many countries not having the correct monitoring in place to accurately record it. And not knowing how polluted the air is in a specific area may be detrimental to a person's health. Some countries are already taking the necessary steps to improve air quality.
So we're seeing that slight improvements are being made. Mostly those are coming, though, from the very developed countries, right, where you see the transition from combustion engines in transportation to electric vehicles. I think we're seeing some of that, and where we see some of the power generation now switching over to cleaner sources too.
Most of the world's air pollution comes from places where coal, oil, and gas are burned, and cutting down on these can improve air quality tremendously. Well, in 30 seconds, we're going to talk about how much rain we can see over the coming days and the different storm types you can see in the event of severe weather. We'll be right back. Welcome back into First Alert Weather Extra. Meteorologist Tania Michelle here. Dry and beautiful evening for your Tuesday. Temperatures right now still in the 70s, maybe a few upper 60s out there. We'll see more upper 60s closer to 7 o'clock. And then as we continue throughout this evening, staying fairly mild, clear, nice skies, upper 50s right around 10 p.m. But tomorrow morning will be another chilly morning. We're talking about 40s widespread across the area. Bring out that sweater and that jacket. There could be some low 40s. Many of us in the mid to upper 40s kicking off the day tomorrow. But the afternoon, it's going to make it all worth it. Another beautiful day in store tomorrow afternoon with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. It's going to feel like a spring-like day. Get out and enjoy it because more active weather is in the forecast as we approach the later halves and the latter halves of this week. We have First Alert Weather Days in effect Thursday through Saturday. And to talk a little bit more about severe weather, active weather, we have Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt joining us now with the Weather Extra on what is a QLCS and what are squall lines and kind of the science behind that.
Yeah, Tania, and we certainly want to, over the next day with this nice weather, take this opportunity. It's a good time to prepare because, you know, we're going into the spring severe weather season.
Absolutely.
So this time through April, these systems are going to pop up. A lot that we need to watch here. And just to kind of break down, give you the weather extra on the difference between some of this terminology when you hear us talk about QLCS. What in the world is that? Well, basically, it's a squall line. That's what we've always called it around here, right? You remember the days we just said, hey, we got a squall line on the way. It's a quasi-linear convective system, and basically what we see often with these, and a lot of times this is what we deal with, these semi-linear lines of storms, and you get these little areas in the radar signatures where we have small tornadoes that can sometimes develop, and I've seen some of these produce some significant tornadoes before. That can certainly happen. Now what happens typically with this particular setup, when you look at the wind profiles in the atmosphere, they are what we call unidirectional. They're all more uniform in one direction, and what we do with weather balloon data, a lot of ways that we sample the atmosphere, wind profilers, we look to see how the wind directions are behaving and also the speed of the winds with height in the atmosphere, because that can determine what type of severe weather threat that we can see around here. So you have the QLCS, the lines of storms, but also sometimes we can have the supercell thunderstorms, and that's what kind of separates some of the ingredients that we're seeing from Saturday compared to the past couple of events. Saturday, we're seeing greater indications that we could see stronger veering winds that could relate to more individual discrete type supercell storms, and that's what we got to watch out for. And you know, a lot of times it's just as difficult sometimes or as tricky as snow forecasting here across Alabama. You know, you really need a lot of these ingredients to come together, and sometimes things, just like if it rains Friday night and continues into Saturday, that could help to limit the risk. But we're going to be watching for those parameters, seeing those signals in the forecast data, watching this weekend closely, especially Saturday. And we're going to talk a lot more about that 10-day forecast coming up. But make sure you download the First Alert Weather app. As we say, be prepared, not scared. You can do so by scanning the code on your screen. You'll be able to receive the latest updates on the upcoming First Alert Weather Days and get personalized notifications for your exact location.
And we first brought you this story yesterday on Weather Extra about the EF2 tornado that impacted parts of Seminole County in Florida. Well, today, Catherine Silver surveyed the area and spoke to nearby residents who are now left to deal with the aftermath.
The wind picked up very, very rapidly.
It was really loud.
Right now, you're in a plaza of businesses surveying the damage along with the people who work here. This trailer toppled onto its side, and there are trees that snapped and fell into the parking lot.
What you see in here is a tree that fell out from off the ground. And I was in the office, and then the light started blinking. But when I heard the rumbling on the window, that's what scared me more than anything.
The first thing I asked you is everyone okay? And that seems to be the case.
Yes, we are. We all are okay.
This is your trailer.
Yeah, this is something that we use for travel for our technicians as we install fiber across the United States. Thankfully, that is pretty much all the damage that we had. We have a truck out front that was an inch away from being toppled by a tree, so we're pretty lucky.
Some very close calls.
Yeah, for sure.
The wind picked up very, very rapidly, very strong, and then it was kind of over.
This is an AC unit from the building where you work?
The exhaust fan, yeah, from the roof blew off pretty quick, and there is a hole in the roof, you know, where this was. So we've got significant flood damage, or rain damage rather, inside as well. It's probably between the 3 hurricanes that we've seen, that I've seen since living here in this building. combined, the damage doesn't equate to what we've seen here today.
I'm told all of this happened in just under a minute. As quickly as the storm rolled through, the cleanup will certainly take a lot longer. Some of that has already begun. You can see the tree branches that have been chopped off to clear the way behind me. The one thing I keep hearing from people in this area is they are just thankful that everyone is okay. In Lake Mary, I'm Catherine Silver, Getting Results, News 6.
Well, still ahead, we bring the latest on Thursday's severe weather threat, and we're going to take a look at the beautiful photos sent in by you all on the First Alert Weather app. We'll be right back with more First Alert Weather Extra.
What a sunset view out there. Sunset time's now back at 6:52, so we get to enjoy some of these lovely sunsets here on Weather Extra. 73 degrees right now in Birmingham as these days grow longer. Notice, though, on the horizon tonight, sometimes with some of that smoke, that haze, particulates in the atmosphere can really set off those glows on the atmosphere during the evening at sunset time, but the air quality has greatly improved out there if you're heading out for this evening. It's 73 degrees again right now. Very dry conditions, but we have a lot to talk about here. We have First Alert Weather Day starting Thursday, continuing through Friday. That risk includes tornadoes, basically multiple modes of severe weather here between Thursday and Saturday, but we will have some nice improvements coming up as we go into Sunday. But we still have the air quality alerts you can see showing up there, but the air quality already improving. Now, I want to show you the high octane air, as I call it, the storm fuel, that instability, that energy and buoyancy in the atmosphere. You can see that starts to ramp ramp up Thursday. I'm calling it round one as far as the severe weather risk during the day. Could impact your work day. My main concerns out of that setup, gusty winds, maybe some hail producers. We need to watch it Friday night. Now, I just want to stress most of Friday looks okay. It's going to be late Friday night with the second round. We need to watch these storms over in Mississippi. Some of that may try to work into West Alabama, and it will be interesting just to see how that evolves Friday night and into Saturday, because I'll tell you, if we get a lot of rain in here late Friday night and into Saturday morning, that could help to kind of cut off some of that instability. Let's hope that happens. You know, we see this kind of trend in a better direction, but the models have been locked in since last week on showing this plume of unstable air, strong south wind. As you can see, we'll have that low-level jet kicking in, a lot of wind energy with this system, so it's going to be a windy day in general, and the risk is still there for a significant severe weather threat popping up on Saturday, and we need to be weather ready there for the weekend. Now, the model data currently showing on Thursday, there's lunchtime. Again, it looks like more of a daytime impact with some of these storms and showers moving through. It's not a classic what we call MCS or convective system, these organized groups of storms, but we might see something try to evolve like that as this moves further to the east. You see there a cluster of storms, could be some intense lightning with that, and it looks like we might catch some cloud breaks for the eclipse that's happening late Thursday night. Notice Friday and Saturday, again, we have that first alert weather day for those impacts Friday night. Let's keep a watch on Saturday. Sunday, big improvements, and I promise next week finally things settle down a little bit. We'll get to enjoy some more nice spring weather, highs in the 70s. Looks like maybe a little rain there towards the middle of next week. But Tania, I know you were taking a close look at the forecast. We were both talking about next week, and it looks like as we go into that Thursday time frame there, Wednesday, Thursday, and next week, a system that could bring some rain, but no severe weather with that particular setup.
Yeah, at least for right now, Wes. I do see the chance for some active weather. It looks like another front may be pushing through, where we could see some rain between Wednesday, Thursday of next week.
Right.
But let's go beyond the 7-day and kind of break this down a little bit further. Here we are looking at our temperature outlook, March 19th through the 25th. Below average temperatures for much of the west of the U.S. and then much of the states across the United States will be dealing with more above average temperatures, which kind of seems nice, right? So many places further up north still dealing with so much snow. So hopefully they'll be able to see some warmer weather as they approach the latter portions of the month. We bring in March 19th to the 25th, looking at our precipitation outlook. The one thing to note is that it looks like much of the states across the U.S. will be dealing with above average rainfall, including us right here at home. So we are watching next week and later into the month for more active weather. It doesn't mean severe weather particularly, but I do see the chance for us to see a few showers and a few more storms in the forecast as we continue to warm up and head into our official spring season. But of course, we take you beyond the 7-day every single day on Weather Extra. We'll be fine-tuning those next rain chances and breaking down whether or not we can see any more freezes throughout this winter season later on into this week. But don't go anywhere. You're watching First Alert Weather Extra. We're actually going to have a final check of your weather and a look at those amazing weather photos when we come right back after the break. All right, everyone, we have some photos to show off. And boy, oh boy, Wes, do I wish I was out at Orange Beach with Kayla Key. Look at that sunrise.
I'll tell you what, I've got the beach fever now. I'm ready
Me
to go.
too.
It's warming up out there. Dana Hall from Mount Cheaha. Lovely glow there. We've had some lovely sunset views.
Man, Nakalula Falls, I've never seen an image like that from
Never
it.
disappoint.
Jason
Never
and Jennifer Childers sent that one in, Wes. That's beautiful.
And Roy Mullen sharing this lovely view from Logan Martin Lake, and that water is going to start warming up. We'll be seeing more of those bass boats out and getting to enjoy some of this nice weather. Listen, we need to watch it this week. Later up, coming up Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we have First Alert weather days, some active weather ahead. As you can see on that 10-day forecast, we have Thursday, we're most concerned about some gusty winds, some hail producers. The risk is mostly elevated. The one day where it peaks out Saturday, that's the day we got to watch. Now, Friday night and a Saturday morning, need to keep an eye on it in case we do have some severe storms over into West Alabama. Still an impactful setup. A lot of rain with this. It's going to move on out of here. Big improvements on Sunday and into Monday of next week. And right now it looks dry for St. Patrick's Day. So
yeah.
Got to wear the green.
You sure do. You don't want to be pinched out there. But hey, we're going to see lots of green later into this week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, multiple rounds of rain and stormy conditions like you were just mentioning.
And listen, a lot can change with this. And it's just an event. And I always tell folks, you know, we just have better data these days and we can see these events further out. It doesn't necessarily mean that all of a sudden this is going to be some event like we've never seen just because we're seeing it so far out. Just know we have a lot of data, and when we see a pattern, we see a lot of agreement, we have a higher confidence that that's a day that we need to watch. So we're going to stay on top of it every step of the way, so just stay with us right here. We'll have new data tonight, hopefully some better news, but we're watching it closely.
We sure are. We'll see you later tonight. Have a good evening. All right. Oh, camera 6 is flipped. Got it? Cool. I'm ready. In 3, 2. Hey there, everyone. First Alert meteorologist Tania Michelle here. We're looking at that 10-day forecast. I know you see a lot of red. Don't let that scare you, but we are tracking some stormier conditions for later into this week. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of First Alert for some stormy weather. Not just storms, though. We're talking about a strong, even to severe storms. We could see our greatest severe threat around Saturday, so that's the day we really need to watch, but can't rule out a severe storm Thursday either. Temperatures are going to be pretty nice, though. 70s through the end of this week and for the weekend, and it looks like we dry up just in time for your St. Patrick's Day on Monday. And next week could see some cooler weather in the forecast. Definitely seeing some chilly mornings down in the 40s next Monday and Tuesday, but later into the week, maybe a chance for rain with some passing clouds, but highs there in the mid to upper 60s. If you're looking for more forecast updates, we'll have them for you on the WBRC First Alert weather app.